Hi, my name is Charles Whitefield, and I'd like to pitch to you my F&P idea called The Aspirations of Madmen. Right, so the logline of this is that it's about a student photographer who wants to create what he believes is the perfect shot, but he's quite petty and he argues with his crew a lot. He doesn't think that what he's doing is great. Now suddenly, he gets attacked by a serial killer and he kills one of the crew, but instead of running away, in his sick mind, he thinks that this could be a perfect way to get a really good camera shot.
Wow.
That's the logline. Inspiration, I sort of based my main character off of Marty Supreme, but he's not as endearing as him. He's, like I said, he's not a nice person. And I just like the idea that he's just completely rude, egotistical, and he's so full of himself. And the inspiration is Evil Dead, specifically the forest. I think it's a nice isolated area, which when doing a murder scene, works because no one else is around. And I based some of the humour off The Death of Stalin, which is quite a dark comedy about the Soviet Union, and I think it really fits. And I love making something dark I love making jokes out of very dark context, so I think it could really work too. And, sorry. The story is my main character is called Bergen Cunliffe, and like I said, photographer. He wants to get a perfect shot, Circle interrupts him. Then, as the killer is chasing someone from his crew, he's talking with his friend Stephen. Stephen's more shy. He's easy to be quick to come to decisions, and because of that, he's forced to take a picture of him. And Bergen sort of acts tough, like he can antagonize the killer. He thinks he's smarter than he really is. He sort of slaps him and says, do this, and he directs him like he's a friend, but he's not. And so the second act is usually where a lot of the comedy will come in. Like I have a scene where the killer like slices his fingers, and instead of panicking, he just smiles and poses for the camera with the killer, tries to do that. Now it will end with Bergen being thrown off the dirt path and impaled into part of a tree branch I found. And as he's dying, the killer indulges his fantasy and takes a picture of him as he's dying, so he sort of gets what he wants, but at the cost of his own life. That's kind of the story. Characters. The main character, Bergen Cunliffe, it's really important that he is not played by one of us, because it's very familiar, we all know all of us, and yeah, I think Sam said that it's just better when we don't have one of us, because it's just a new person and we're not familiar with him. And I'm hoping someone from the drama department, just kind of like what Harvey did with Trance and what Sam did with Kim's Problems. That's what I'm hoping for. But for the other people, I want Jay to be the timid Stephen Cornwell. I think he fits that role really well. He's got a nice variety of acting that I think I can use. And Luca's already played a killer in Hadron's The Last Recording, and he's really good at that, so I want him to be the killer. There are two more people, but I put them as question marks because, well, they're not important, they're just bodies. And Aidan and Eric have said they're up for it, so I'll cast them as that. Now for the visual feel, I was there at the location taking pictures, and I was quite late. I noticed the sun was setting, and I thought to myself, I think if I shoot it at sunset, it will look really dramatic, look really moody, and I love the orange glow to it, and it saves me from doing it in the editing room. So that's sort of my visual feel, a warm and vibrant set of colours. Feasibility, like I said, took some pictures, and this is sort of how I want the main character to be impaled. What I'll do is I'll have the stick from the side, from a wide angle, and for close-ups I'll break that branch off, have the camera facing upwards just below the wound on his chest, and another person behind him will sort of grab the stick and face it upwards. And I've got a lot of fake blood from a few Halloweens ago, so I'm really looking to do that. Part of something I want to really push is I want to make the fake blood practically. You can use it to make your green sort of cranberry juice, then corn syrup, bit of hot chocolate and red food colouring. Because I can put it in their mouths, they can spit it out and it'll look really good. And this is where it will start. I think the broken tree makes for a very ominous setting, and this is like the first shot of the movie where the character's sitting on this bench ready for the photo shoot. And the way he's going to fall onto this branch and impale himself, he's going to trip on this log, fall through here. I know from the picture it looks really far, but it's actually much closer. And that's how I'm planning to do some of these stunts. Other props include the camera, which I did recently find out that Gateshead College does a photography class, so I'm hoping I could ask John or you if I could borrow one of the cameras from there, even though I'm not from photography. I'm going to get a prop axe for the killer and the bandages. Those are two of my main props as well. I think it will really help to sell the killer aesthetic. Schedule, I will begin filming after the Easter holidays, just because there's a lot of changes and rewrites I want to do to the script just before I start shooting. And Tuesdays and Thursdays, I think, is when I like to film. And the film location is at High Jaws Woods, which, if you don't know where that is, it's at Washington. And it's a 30-minute walk from my house, so we can usually just go there and back. And yeah, risks, like I said, it is a forest, people might trip. And my runaway around that is that I'm hoping to sort of give everyone a tour of the forest first, before we shoot for the running scenes. And of course, you will get muddy because it is a forest, and I want things to get physical, like people throwing around fake blood on the clothes. And so I suggest just bring a spare set of trousers, socks, and a t-shirt. And like I said, my house is very close to there, so we can just go back and change, and that's sort of how I'm going to do it. Why will audiences love this film? Well, it's a very dark story, but it's quite funny in how I approach it. And the main character, like I said, he's kind of just rude, and the main satisfaction is watching him get pushed around by the killer. It's sort of this dilemma of, like, no one wants to see a child get hurt, but if you make the child into a rude person, then they sort of deserve to get hurt. Like, that sort of writing technique. And that's sort of why I think people will love it. It's a brand new area, no one's been there before, and yeah, I think it will be a really funny film. Thank you so much for watching.
Okay, thanks very much, Charles.